What's going on, guys? Wyatt here today, and today we are going to be remodeling my Revolver. This thing is good for trapping anything from a squirrel to a coyote. I use it every time I butcher chickens. I use it for shooting possums that get in the chicken coop, which actually only happened once. And even though it's chambered in 22 Magnum, the barrel can actually shoot 22 Magnum or 22 long rifle. But so what? This thing shoots 22 long rifle. Who cares? I care. Which is why I bought this. Not the bag. Well, I mean, I guess I technically bought the bag too, but it's what's in the bag. I bought this. This is a cylinder for my Revolver, but it's chambered in 22 long rifle instead of 22 Magnum. Because even though they're both 22 caliber bullets, the casing on a 22 Magnum is a little bit bigger. And you can see it won't fit into this 22 long rifle cylinder. So why exactly would I want to get a 22 long rifle cylinder and take away the power of a 22 Magnum? Well, that comes down to one simple thing, and that is because these are expensive. Now, they're not super expensive compared to all other cartridges for guns, but they are a lot more expensive than 22 long rifle. In fact, they're so much more expensive that this isn't even a real gunshot. Oh, don't believe me? This is a 6-shooter. Let's put 7 through it. Still not convinced? I'll just take the cylinder out. And I don't know the actual process because I haven't bought any shells in like 6 months. But whatever it was worth it to buy this, which was like 40 bucks. I'll save that much in a year by just buying this to shoot targets with. So I think it's time we address the elephant in the room here. Some of you may be thinking, why would you buy it in gold? You're asking the wrong question. You should be saying, why wouldn't you buy it in gold? So yeah, the new cylinder for my Revolver is solid gold. Well, it's not real gold, it's just colored gold. It'd be nice if it was solid gold because it was only $40 and this thing is... it's heavy. So as you can see, this is about what it's gonna look like whenever we get it all put together. And the gold really doesn't go with that red. So we're getting rid of the red. Now they actually do make replacement grips for these that are different colors, different materials, whatever you want. But where would the fun be in that? Also, they just didn't have any that I liked. So to go with our new gold cylinder, I'm going to be making grips for these from scratch. So let's get started. And we will be needing this. Now, I got a couple things in mind. Number one, I really want some maple syrup, but these trees are not running. That has nothing to do with this project, but it is on my mind. Number two, I want something with gold and black to match the gun, which is gonna be gold and black. Unfortunately, I can't think of any golden wood around here, but I know how we can make some. And as for the black wood, all we've got is walnut, but we can also make wood black by just burning it. And that's what we're gonna be doing. So here we have a red and a white oak and a cat. What's up, pal? Can you get off this tree, please? Thank you. This big one, that is the white oak. It was actually cut down 3 years ago by loggers, but this part, I guess it wasn't profitable enough because it's got a huge knot in it, but that's good for me. And then this one, it just got smashed by that one when it fell. And it is a red oak. So I think this is where we're gonna get our wood for the project. Now there's that white oak. I'm not sure I like it that much, but we do have this red oak here. I like the color of it a little bit better. I don't know if you could tell that much on camera. And even though white oak, I'm pretty sure is harder and more durable, I do like the grain and the color of the red oak better. So let's go ahead and see if we can get us a piece of this off. I'm gonna try to cut from the bottom here where it's still solid, because this part here is what's cracked from whenever the tree fell. And there's a couple reasons why I'm choosing this wood, mostly because it's very durable. And I'm choosing this tree in particular because it's been down for like 3 or 4 years now, so it's nice and dry. At least dry enough. I don't care too much. If it cracks, I'll make another one. I do have a lot of cedar, which is what I built the catch cook station out of last year. But the reason I'm not using cedar is because I don't like all that red. That's the whole reason I'm getting rid of this grip. Even though cedar is weather resistant, it's very brittle and it cracks easily whenever you get it thin, which isn't which isn't what you want. What if I have to pistol whip somebody? And there's only one other wood that I think would be really good, and that would be walnut. If I could find one that has a lot of the outer wood instead of the heartwood. But the only way to find that out is to just cut the tree down. So I'd rather just use the oak we've already got and then color it however we need. And there is the wood I'm looking for. Let's get this down there and start working on it. Now I could take a saw to that, cut it down, sand it out, get it just like a regular milled piece of lumber, and then make it into the grip like this one is already. That's smooth. But I think I got a better idea. This is a piece of firewood. Now this is actually pretty wood. I could have used this, but it's started to rot. That's why it's firewood. But you can see this, it's kind of smooth. Like I'm not gonna get a splinter from that, but it still has a pretty good lot of texture to it. And I think we could do that with this wood too. And that'll do two things. Number one, it'll just give the grip some texture so you can hold on to it better. And number two, it'll just look cool. And you can see from this, you can get these edges pretty straight. So I think that's what we're gonna try to do. And if it doesn't work out, we still have a whole tree up there we could use. All right, let's clean off the chopping block for one. let's go ahead and peel the bark off. So we need to try to get a straight panel through this. So first, we'll try to get this edge knocked off. That was easy. So now I think I'm gonna chop it this way, right there. There we go. Yeah. Do the same thing over here. Try to get it as square as possible. That was a lot easier. Now let's find us a line to go this way. Because you can see this is kind of discolored. It's actually not rotted even though it looks like it. This thing will probably take 10, 15 years to even start rotting. But I still don't want this discoloration in there. So we're gonna cut past that and it looks like we should be able to miss it right there. Get that one started and meet it halfway with this one. And that one didn't go all the way, but we can redo it. I think we can finish it with the machete. Now let's go this way. Oh, wrong way. Tell you what, see if we can get it with an axe. All right, and that is a beautiful piece of wood. It's also very heavy. Oh. Now I'm gonna do my best to split it long ways. Try to get 2 perfect pieces out of it. That way we got 2 chances. Actually, hopefully more than 2 chances. Here, let's try these again. There we go. Let's see. Which one are we gonna go with? I think this one. This one's still too thick, but we can cut it down if this one doesn't work out. And this part's loose, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it past this knot because we ain't gonna be able to use that anyway. There we go. That's nice. All right, here it is. Let's see what we can do with it. And by the way, yes, this is the catch and cook station. Yes, we're using it for a workbench. And yes, it looks terrible. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of that. Not in this video though, it'll be like in the next one. First of all, we're gonna need this to hold it with. And we'll go ahead and take these off to use as a guide. Now we'll go ahead and draw out the rough shape of what we need. And we only need to do one because this thing's thick enough to do them both. Remember, this is just the rough shape. All right, now let's cut that out. And there we go. As you guys can see, it is coming along, but we also have a long way to go. So now we need to make a bench sander. And what do I mean by that? Just watch. Looks good. Now let's get it sanded down. I'm actually going to do it diagonally, but luckily we still have enough material to go ahead and turn it before we get it any shorter. Looking good. All right. Still don't look like much, but it's coming along. Back is coming together. Let's just keep going. All right, let's flatten the bottom out. There we go. There it is so far. And you can see we've come a pretty long way, but I think that's about as far as we can get with this setup. So let's just add to the setup. Here's what we need. This is a coping saw for those of you who don't know. It's good for cutting around corners and stuff. I didn't have one because I usually just use a jigsaw, which basically does the same thing, but it's electric. But yeah, my blade won't fit through that, so I had to pick this up. So I think what we need to do now is get the exact shape drawn out, and to do that, we need to sand this down so it's flat. Dang it. Should have made sure that was taut first, I guess. And look at that, that is pretty wood. I love that. And I know I said I was gonna leave like these ridges from where I chopped the wood with an axe, but I don't know, I kind of do like it smooth. We'll see how it looks whenever I burn it. If it looks good, we'll just leave it like that. If not, then we'll split it again, get those ridges, and then go from there. Yeah, I think we could finish this off with just the sanding, but I'll go ahead and mark it just in case. And then up here, we gotta do some. Gotta cut this little notch out there, and then we still have to do this big chunk here too. That's about what we're looking at. Looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna do this big curve first to go ahead and get it out of the way. We'll just take it slow and steady. We can take it off, but it's hard to put it back. And that is coming along nice. Let's go back at it. There we go. That looks nice. And I think the rest of this we can get out with sanding and a rasp if we need to. So now we just need to do this little notch here. And we might as well go ahead and take that little bit off if we can. Oh, let's get this out of the way. Easy enough. Tighten this up. That's how you know this oak is very sturdy. Any other wood would have probably just cracked, which it is like 2 inches thick too, so maybe that's why. There we go. Blade's a little bit angled. I don't expect this blade to last long anyway though, because this is the factory blade, but it's already surprised me. There we go. And I did angle it up a little bit on this outer edge just because I can rasp it down a little bit. This I think I can also get with the sander, and that is looking nice. And yes, I know I just messed that up with that, but I don't really care. So now let's see if we can smooth this out a little bit with the rasp. This part I'll just leave for the sander. That part I'll leave for the sander. This curve is mainly what I'm worried about. So let's go ahead and even that out. And I'll be using this one here with a round edge just so we can get in that curve really good. Coming together, slowly but surely. All right, see if we can pull this broken piece off. There we go. All right, let's smooth it out with the sander. So I think we should probably start by working on this flat edge here. So let's go ahead and do that. So now we'll go ahead and get this flat part worked out, then this little edge there, and finally this inside of the curve. And there we go. So now we got to make a decision. I said before that I was going to leave these ridges just to leave some texture so you could grip it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now. And the reason for that is these grains, they are really rough. It's not like what I chopped with the firewood, just because it's a different type of tree. So I'm going to go ahead and sand out another piece to be smooth like this one, and then we'll burn it like we're going to do the handle and see how it looks. All right, so here's the smoothed out piece that we're gonna use to test it. So let's light it up. You can't see the flame because it's invisible, but there's a flame here. I don't want this to be completely black. That might look good in some cases, but I don't want this one to be like that. I want just part of the grain to burn. So I'm gonna hold it really far away and then just go over it slowly. This would be a lot better if I could actually see the flame. Slowly but surely. Oh, dang it. I did it too much, but still ain't too far gone. All right, I think that'll work. I'm gonna have to do it really slowly, but I do think it being sanded will still burn like this. You can see not all of it is burning. I guess the different textures of wood, part of it burns faster than the other. So as long as I take it very slowly, I think it'll work out pretty good. And even though I would like to have more texture to it, I think it'll be fine. I've never had trouble holding onto this one, and it's smooth as glass, but I think it's gonna work. So that means we don't have to re-split this to get a texture back to it. So now, just to simplify things, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down to the size we're gonna need. And it looks like we could cut it right in there. So let's measure it out, get it in the vise, and then split it. Right there, give us some room. All right, now we gotta cut this as straight as possible. And if we do mess up a little bit, it'll be fine. I left a little bit of room there. There we go. All right, let's turn it around. So far, so good. There we go. And there it is. It's not done yet. I mean, like, there's that cut. We still have a pretty good long way to go. So as you can see, that wasn't a perfectly straight cut, but that's why I left a little bit extra. What I'm gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and sand this part up that we just cut, get everything straightened up, maybe go ahead and even round the edges, and then we'll split it down the middle to make two pieces. And I left extra, so if we go ahead and finish both sides up, we'll just have to take the material from the middle to make it the right size, which works for me. There we go. Both sides are smoothed up. So now what we got to do is make sure everything from side to side is even. And as you can see, like that part, it's not completely even. We started on this side, but now we're going to go to this side and then draw the template on it. And you can see there's a little bit of extra material there that we need to get rid of. So let's go ahead and draw it like that. And then the other side's actually got pretty close. So that's the only part we need to worry about. And that is perfect. So now let's put a little bit finer sandpaper on there. We were just working with 60. We're gonna finish it up with an 80. Remember, I wanna keep this a little bit rough just to give it some texture. And since we're at the finishing sand, I'm not gonna be going straight up and down like I have been. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's lines that go this way, but the grain is going that way. So we're actually just gonna follow the grain now. That way it looks rough, but it still looks natural. And now we need to take these edges and then round them off like these are. And there we go. I think it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna go ahead and touch it up a little bit with this 220 grit sandpaper. Really just to get the burrs out though. I'm gonna keep it as rough as I can. Get the little groove out here. And there we go. Let's wipe it down a little bit, get all this sawdust off. And there it is next to the original. I did make this one a little bit beefier, but I can always just sand it out if I need to. And now for the scary but fun part, torching it. As long as I don't just straight up burn this, I don't really care. And besides, we left a lot of material on here, so if it goes too far and we do want to take it back, we could just sand it off. So it's not as nerve-wracking as it feels like. So let's go torch it. And we're gonna do it in the shade of the chicken coop here. What's up, chickens? And we'll just set it up here on this. Oh, well, dang it. Maybe running out of gas. All right, try not to burn up our work. So far, so good. I like the way the bottom there looks. Let's keep at it. That part ain't even gonna be seen, so burn it as much as I want. I mean, I can actually burn all of it as much as I want because it's mine. And I'm running out of gas. I'll be right back. All right, back to it. And there we go. I think it turned out pretty good. We're not done with it yet though. It's gonna look a lot better once we get a varnish on here. The red and the white in the wood, it's gonna have a goldish yellow tint, and the black, it's just gonna be a lot darker and glossier. So yeah, this ain't finished, but it still looks really good. So now we do need to split this into 2 pieces. Let's see if we can figure it out. Now the good news is, you done? No, they're not done. Now the good news is it doesn't have to be 2 perfectly equal pieces, because you can see we could actually make like 3 grips out of this because it's so thick, but we only need 2. As long as each piece is more than whatever this is, it's probably like a 3/8, something like that. As long as each piece is that thick, we can work it down to the size we need. So let's go ahead and stick it in the vise here, and we need to do so without damaging it. So we'll wrap it up in this. Now I need to keep it as straight as possible, so I'm also gonna go as slow as possible. Take a break. Gotta keep it straight. Dang it. It's gonna happen sooner or later. Also got finer teeth on it now, where it'll cut a little bit smoother. And it's also wider, so it won't curve as much. Okay, that might have been too fine. Let's try a different one. There we go. All right, now we gotta figure a way out to do the rest. Or figure out a way to do the rest. Let's see, maybe that? It might work, I don't know. Because if we do it like this, it's just gonna close that gap back up. Yeah, I might do that. I may just have to hold it. I bet I could have probably just split this with a tomahawk and it would have turned out fine. But I ain't chancing it. Put too much work into it so far. Any day now. I think we got it. There we go. Why did I do that? Okay, never mind. I thought I put a mark in it, but I didn't. Here are our 2 halves. Now let's hope we didn't cut too much off one side. Here's this one. Yep, that's good. And then this side's bigger, so it has to be good. Yes. Now, I'm gonna rest my hand, it hurts. And then, we're gonna sand that down. Set up the homemade bench grinder, hopefully for the last time. And now, we just need to flatten these edges and grind them down to size. And there we go. So just out of curiosity, let's see how it looks. All right, so it fits. It actually looks really cool just like that. But we do have a problem. It's not a big one. There's just like a pin here that we gotta make a hole for. But it does fit, which is the main thing. So now we just gotta grind this one down. Still got a little ways to go. As you can see, the top is about right. This one could use a little bit more still, but the bottom is really far off. So I'm gonna take this rasp to it. Just about. And I think we may have it. You guys can see how this side, it curves all the way to the bottom. This one actually has a little bit of a flat edge. I'm gonna grind that out and reburn that real quick. A little bit too much. I'll just sand a little bit of that out. And I I'm gonna just add a little bit more char to that one. All right, see how they are. And that looks good to me. Now we do, of course, still have this little pin like I was talking about earlier. We gotta drill a little hole there for that. And of course, we have to put the mounting screw in through here. And I can't just use the screw that was already in it, because the way it mounts is there's actually a little threaded insert inside of this. So I'd have to take that out and install it in that one. It ain't worth it. I'm just gonna go get a nut and a bolt and put on it. Which also means we won't have to get the exact same size. So let's go get it. There's black ones, but they're all too big. Blue, gold, but those are also too big. Yeah, we'll just get one of these stainless machine screws. This isn't gonna work, we'll just have to cut it. And we're back. Now both of these are silver. I actually wanted either gold or black, but I couldn't find any. So I just figured this will work. It'll at least hold it together. And if it looks that bad, I could check other hardware stores, see if I could find one there. Or I may even just take some black nail polish and just paint it or something. I don't really know, I don't really care. We'll put this on it now and we'll go from there. I did not mean for that to rhyme. Now it also is a little bit too long, I'm pretty sure, which is why I also brought these with me. So let's get it put on. You have to do it like that. So first, we need to make a hole for this pin. So what we'll do, we'll position it, and then I'm just gonna squeeze it really hard. And now we've got us a guide. Should be good. Actually, it's not. I think it might need to be a little bigger. Yeah, let's widen it just a little bit. And there we go. Let's do this side. And there we go so far. And now the screw hole. And when it's holstered, this side is facing out. So that's the side I actually want the screw head to be on. So we'll drill all the way through with this one. And I actually ain't even sure what this is. I just sized the screw up to it. We'll use this one to make a place for the screw to sit. And that was a 1/4. And now we'll use a 5/16 to make a place for the nut to sit. All right, let's see how it fits. And that looks good. Now one more thing with the bolt, it will have to be trimmed a little bit, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threads above the surface. So we'll cut off about 6 threads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Let's try that. And that is pretty much perfect. Smooth these edges up. I'm gonna retoast this one a little, and might as well do this one too. Now, there's only one thing left to do, and that's clear coat these. I'm not gonna be using any kind of colored stain. It's just a clear coat polyurethane. Now, a lot of people don't like polyurethane because it has like a yellow tint to it whenever it dries on white wood, but that's actually why I chose that. Most projects, I don't like using polyurethane either, but remember, I want this to be black and gold, at least as black and gold as we can get. So hopefully this white and pink with this polyurethane put on it, it's gonna have like a yellow tint to it, matching the black and the gold on the rest of the gun. But there's only one way to know for sure. And let's put it on them. And for good measure, I'm gonna add a little bit more char. Okay, I need to quit. We'll wipe it down with one cloth, get all the dust off. And here we go. There's one. And there we go. Still not done yet. After this dries, we'll probably do 1 or 2 more coats. But so far, I think it looks great. And now all that's left to do is watch paint dry. Well, it's varnish, but same concept, I guess. All right, 30 minutes later, let's check the first coat. It's actually mostly dry. This part's not, but that part doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, this side, pretty dry. Ready for the second coat. We'll take this 220 grit sandpaper, very lightly, rough it up so it'll stick better, and it'll actually make it a smoother end product. Whoa, that would have been bad. Wipe it down again, and now coat 2. There is the second coat. I think it's looking really good so far. I'm not sure if this will be the last coat or not. We'll let that dry and see how it looks, but I think we'll go ahead and do 1 or 2 more. All right, they are now dry to the touch once again. Been a couple of hours, so let's go ahead and do 1 more coat, and that should be all we need. First try. All right. Just remembered I needed that. You know what? Never mind. We'll let these set overnight and we will put it all together tomorrow. And we're back. The grips have been drying for 24 hours, so let's see how they look. There we go. I think they turned out great. And I definitely think they look better than the original grips. So let's go ahead and get them installed, get the new cylinder installed, and see how it looks. There's that. Looks great so far. As you guys know, I had that silver screw yesterday. Well, I actually went to a different hardware store this morning and I found a golden screw with a nut to go with it. And I think that's gonna look a whole lot better on this. All right, there we go. Put it right there. All right, now this nut, it's probably not gonna fit perfectly, but I got a solution for that. And that is make it fit with a hammer. Remember, brute force solves most problems. There we go. Get that started. There we go. Look at that. I think it looks great. Everything is working good, it seems. And this feels awesome. I love the way this feels. Like I said before, I didn't make this completely smooth. It still has just a little bit of texture to it. And since I made these a little bit beefier up towards the top, it's way more comfortable to hold on to. But of course, we can't go off looks alone. We're gonna go see how this thing shoots. Here, I have some 22 long rifles, and it's been a while since I've shot these out of it. And we are back where this whole thing started. And it's kind of sad, you know? Feels like it was just yesterday. I cut a chunk out of this to start the project with, but it was actually 2 days ago. Man, time flies. But we are gonna go ahead and test this out, see how it shoots, which I'm not expecting much. It's just a 22 long rifle, but I'm really just using it as an excuse to shoot my gun. So let's get started. And we're gonna be shooting at that tree. Don't worry though, it's not gonna kill it because it's already dead. I don't know why I said it like I did it. It just died of natural causes. So I didn't just do that for the fun of it. I'm gonna be shooting at that. So here we go. I think I hit it. Oh yeah, I hit it. There is the entry point and there is where it exited. So, not bad. All right, let's see. So this one, I hit it there, right there on the edge. And I think that also is my shot. Not bad though. And we got one more. I've always wanted to do that. I don't know why I never have. I've had this for years now. Ooh, and that one, dead center. All right, this one from the hip. Well, I hit the tree, but I didn't hit the piece of wood. So, I think it does pretty good. Like I said though, I wasn't really expecting it not to, but I'll take any excuse to shoot a gun. And I just find it so cool that 2 days ago, this was like that. I just find that awesome. Now the wood didn't have as much white in it, so therefore it didn't have as much gold after I put the polyurethane on it, but I think it looks great the way it is actually. In fact, if it did have more yellow, it may have looked more like pine or something. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. I do definitely like this configuration better than the other one. Not that I'm not ever gonna use the other one because I can't shoot 22 magnums out of this now. This is mainly just for shooting targets. I may use it for like rabbit hunting or something. I don't know. I needed a new pistol grip anyway. It's just kind of an added bonus that it looks really cool with this. But the one I had on it, it was cracking. I needed to repaint it or do something. But instead of just refinishing that one or even just buying a replacement, you guys know me, I have to make it more complicated than it needs to be. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want to help support the channel, you can do that by buying some merch like this hat I'm wearing and this shirt I'm wearing. We have 2 different types of hats, 2 different types of hoodies, shirts, jackets, stickers. We've got it all. Okay, that's actually all we have that I just listed. But head on over, pick you guys up some sick merch. Link is in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. One more thing, guys, I just wanted to hop in here and say, anytime you guys see me spinning a gun in this video or others, number one, don't do that at home. But it's not exactly what it looks like, okay? I'm not just shooting it and spinning it. I just edited it to look like that because it looks cool, to be honest. Some safety precautions that I do take is number one, I've trained myself to have this habit to where anytime I'm holding the gun, I feel where the hammer's at, check the safety. So I've just trained my mind to know at all times where the hammer is and if it's gonna go off if I pull the trigger. Number two, the most obvious precaution you could take is unloading it. And then I'll double check it, triple check it, quadruple check it, quintuple check it, sextuple check it, septuple check it. I don't even know if half of those are the right term. I just assumed what they are. So that's all I do is unload the gun? Absolutely not. I have this thing. This is a safety ring. And this isn't something that you could just pop in the gun and pop right back out. You have to take the entire cylinder off, like so, and then you can pop this in there. And you can see that actually levels it up so you can't even fit a shell under this. So if this is in there, there's no way there could be a cartridge there. And that's kind of a lengthy process. It's not something that you could just like pop in and pop back out. So that's like a mental note that this thing is not loaded. It can't be loaded right now. And of course, I also always use this safety. But all of these precautions together makes it extremely unlikely that I would ever fire this gun while spinning it. And that bright orange is very easily visible by just popping this open here. So I just wanted to show you guys, even though it looks like I'll just pop off a shot and then start spinning the gun, that's not what's happening. I don't want you guys trying this and, you know, like shooting yourself, so that's why I'm showing you this. So what if you take all the safety precautions that I just did? Does that mean you could spin your gun? Well, we'll just say Absolutely not. Do not try this at home. Anyway, that's all I want to say. I'll see you guys later. See, I knew it was unloaded because it's got the orange in it, and I just took all the safety precautions.